And joining me now, Neama Rahmani, a former federal prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers. Neama, thank you so much for being here. I mean, you've heard a little bit from both, just even tonight, the prosecution side, the defense side. The prosecution arguing that Baldwin used the gun irresponsibly. The defense saying he's just an actor. He had no way of knowing it was loaded. Who gave the more convincing opening statements?
I think the defense did, and this is why. I mean, the prosecution, we knew that they were going to lean into the argument that Baldwin pulled the trigger. That's what the FBI ballistics report says. And Baldwin famously told George Stephanopoulos that he did not. But I think the defense had a compelling argument that there are more culpable people here. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, of course, is the armorer. She was convicted and sentenced to 18 months. But Assistant Director Dave Halls, he was the one who said it was a cold gun. And there was a 911 video that was played, an audio that said that he was the one who was responsible, and the defense was able to get that in. And he, of course, got a no-time misdemeanor deal. So I think the defense has the edge so far.
And of course, remember, the judge has already said that the jury cannot hear about Baldwin being a producer as a part of this, cutting off some of the ammunition, so to speak, about momentum, about who would have oversight of all of this. But the defense is also saying that police and investigators mishandled the gun and ordered a test that actually damaged it. How does that play for the prosecution?
I think the prosecution still will be able to prove that that trigger did go off. And I think the defense is going to have to step back a little bit. Baldwin, of course, said that he didn't pull the trigger. I think ultimately we'll see the defense argue that it accidentally discharged. And there were reports of things on set, firearms, and we don't know if it was this specific firearm, but at least one firearm that had discharged, maybe even more than one. So I think ultimately that's the direction the defense is going to go in here, and take a step back from Baldwin saying that he didn't actually pull that trigger.
Well, Neama, one of the strongest things for the defense is having somebody already being convicted of similar charges, and your client was not tried along with them. But the prosecution, they have a burden to meet. Will they meet it? The jury is going to be hearing so much. We'll follow this trial. It's an important one. Neama Rahmani, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Laura.